Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you my top 10 players in the world at the moment, in my opinion, as we're leading up to the Spring Major. So first I'm going to be doing the honourable mentions here. So first we will begin with, let's turn it to white, Monkey Moon. Monkey Moon is one of my honourable mentions because you've seen BDS recently, they're just amazing with that new Rise edition. Monkey Moon's looked really good, not better than ever, but really good. It's gone back to his old level. BDS looked like they could win the whole thing possibly, but so does nearly every team in EU and a few teams in NA. So that's why Monkey Moon's there, because I also feel like Rise and Monkey Moon also at the moment are kind of carrying Seiko a bit. Seiko's having some pop-off series, pop-off games, but hasn't been too consistent. But Monkey Moon is always there with the high points, always not really whiffing much, putting great performances in for BDS and just helping them overall. My second honourable mention is, oh by the way guys, this is not in any order, so don't get offended, will be Yan. I'm not even sure he deserves an honourable mention, to be honest, but from what we know he can do, go back to last Spring Major, he was one of the best players we've ever seen. One of the most mechanical players, but now it kind of feels like with that new Lost edition, he can't really do as much as he wants to, because him and Lost are very similar, but I feel like Yan is a step ahead, maybe even a leap ahead, but can't do what he wants to do with Lost on the roster. However, I do believe that when he is on LAN, on the stage, in front of those people, he's one of the best players ever there, so we'll just have to see what happens. I mean, this isn't even supposed to be being based off the major, to be fair, but this is what I know he can do. We all know he can easily be in that top 10 if you just put the effort in. And we all know that he's kind of got temperament problems as well. My last honourable mention will be Exotic. So I had a choice between Itachi and Exotic here. The reason I did not choose Itachi is because I feel like in the last split and major, he's been good, of course, but he's not been up to the level Exotic has. People have been underrating Exotic for a long time now, and it just needs to stop, because Exotic is an amazing player. Just watching him and Vatira, it's like the two-man show in that team at the moment. Itachi, it was like that before they won the major, but when they won that major and since then, it's just been passing plays between Exotic and Vatira. Exotic's really stepped up now, and Exotic has gotten higher up the pitch while Itachi has taken a more defensive approach. Let me just change this to blue for EU, red for NA. God, it's a bit hard to see with the blue. Turn it more to turquoise. Alright, for number 10, it is going to be First Killer. So, the reason why First Killer is here and quite low is because I feel like ever since the Spring Major, he's just not been good at all. Especially that mistake he made. To be fair, he did. I mean, not Spring Major, the last major, whatever it was, Summer Major, my bad, or whatever it was. Fall Major. First Killer's really not been that good. He's been top 10 quality, of course. But he's just been making too many mistakes. Same with his teammates. There's a reason why they did not make this major. That's because they all weren't performing. It's not just Sipical and Mist that weren't performing. It was First Killer as well. That performance against Optic and Genji, we did not see much out of him, to be fair. We saw a bit more out of him from Optic game, but against Genji, for the tiebreaker, honestly, First Killer was not anywhere to be seen that whole game. Going into number 9, we have apparently Jack. Okay, this might be a bit controversial, but it's around the same reason I picked First Killer, except I feel like Jack has been doing it more consistently and better. I feel like when I was watching Genji for the last split, for some reason Chronic has been playing extremely defensively. We've hardly been seeing any solo players, and Jack is normally the highest up the pitch. We see Genji at the best when all 3 players are attacking, all 3 players are up. Well, not all 3 really, when when there's 2 up and 1 back really, but now it kind of feels like there's always 1 up and 2 back, and most of the time it's apparently Jack trying to make the plays for his teammates, and a lot of the time they don't end up connecting because his teammates just aren't there. Nolly can have series where he just pops off and helps Jack and they look back to the best, but I've not Chronic right now. I'm not feeling with him. He's not been good at all. I mean, it sounds toxic, but it's not good. I love Chronic. Like, Gen G are one of my favourite teams, and that's probably why apparently Jack is still in the top 10, because I respect him a lot, and he has been the best player in that team. Got to the final in Regional 1, and it's a weird one. It's a very weird one, and he was one of the players that stepped up with that Gen G versus FaZe game for the tiebreaker, so that's why apparently Jack gets my number 9 spot. So moving on to number 8, I will be going with Alpha 54. He could be higher up, but we all know there is another player up there from Vitality. Honestly, Radosin still could have made top 10, still could have made the honourable mentions, but I was thinking about it, some players that he is worse than. I was thinking, yeah, Radosin's just below. He's at least definitely top 15, but doesn't quite make it for me. So that's why Alpha 54 makes it here. In the first regional that we watched with ZEN now, Alpha 54 was better than ZEN that regional, even though ZEN was still incredible. Alpha 54 was the best player there. Was correct. In the last 2 regionals, he's taken a bit more of a back foot, but still been incredible. Never mind to say what he did before as well with Radosin and Sizen, kind of carrying them through to the major, doing well. I mean, seeing Radosin now, he looks fucking incredible. If Radosin was another team, he'd be standout player and he could be top 10, honestly. Forgive my voice crack. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, ignore my voice cracks, please. Alpha 54 gets number 8 because of the consistency he has, and he's just a great player. I mean, I know teammates would be happy with me for saying that. Number 7. I wasn't sure whether to put this guy higher up the list or not, but with the names I have up there, I don't think I can. So that's why AJ gets my number 7 here. AJ has been incredible for Optic. Unbelievable. He has been the standout player by a mile. Rettles half the time isn't on it, and Magic Bear, in my opinion, just isn't that good. Hopefully loads of Optic fans don't start attacking me now I said that, but I do not rate Magic Bear, and that's my opinion. I don't even think he's top 50 right now. I mean, actually, I don't know, that's a bit overboard, but could be top 50, I don't know. But AJ gets my number 7 because, Jesus, to get Optic to the major, he has been trying his hardest. He's really, really looking good through this last split of the season. Finally, he's gotten his reward, and Optic have made the major. Partly due to Rettles peaking as well, because Rettles, when he's on it, oh my god. Rettles versus FaZe for the last 4 games. Unbelievable. The bump plays he was pulling out, and then AJ just pulling it in the back of the net, and AJ's just been shitting on everyone in NA. So that is why AJ gets number 7. Oops, I've done it again. Let me change that to red. Alright, so number 6. My number 6, I don't remember what I've put here. It'll be a surprise to me as well. Atto. This one's a weird one as well, because Liquid are incredibly inconsistent. Like, I don't see them going too far at the major. I think they're just going to keep getting like top 4, top 8, top 6, whatever. But I don't think they're getting any higher than top 4. Sadly, I love Liquid so much because the way they play Rocket League is fucking brilliant. And the reason why I've put Atto here and not Oski or a Chronic is because Atto, he has the pop-off moments more often, and when he does have the pop-off moments, he honestly is the best player in the world. I've never seen anything like it, but it's inconsistency. That's why he's not as high, but he's a fucking unbelievable player. If you'll know what I'm talking about if you've been watching EU Split for the last Split, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, if you watch this guy, when he's playing well, he's unbelievable. When he doesn't play well, he scores own goals. So that's not the best. That's why Eto'o gets number 6 for me. Moving on to number 5, we have LJ. So LJ, when Daniel was on the roster, I really was not a big fan of this guy, because I did not think he was anything special at all. But now Hoxter is in the roster, I think LJ has really stepped up and has looked unbelievable. They have the number 1 seed in NA for a reason, and that is because LJ stepped up. He's done like an AJ. He's found his role in the team, and that is to be the main man. Hoxter provided him so well, and Arsenal at the back or at the front, just sweeping up, demoing people. Good play. Like, I was not expecting the Space Station roster to do so well at all. Like, they've played some amazing Rocket League, and that's why it's so hard to predict them at the moment. Like, in my previous video, you can go and watch, I tried to predict the Spring Major, and it's just so hard to predict Space Station game and how they're going to do, and the whole of NA really, because it's so unpredictable with them. I feel like with EU, you can predict them just like decently high and everyone will be quite happy with it. But with NA, if you don't put someone as high, they're going to be angry. But then if you do, another person's going to be angry because you put them over this EU team. It's really hard. But LJ has been incredible. Flip resets, doing whatever he can do, double taps from a mile away. He's great. Was not expecting him to do so well, but that is why LJ is at my number 5. So for number 4 is Rise. So there's a reason why Monkey Moon is not in the top 10, and that is because this man Rise has been unbelievable. There's a reason why BDS have risen up so quickly since they got him. You see it at Moist, you see it at Oxygen. Well, maybe not as much Oxygen, but at Moist, he was always a player that went unnoticed. Amazing in defense, but even better in attack. Always doing the passing plays. Has everything you can have: passing, team play, air dribbles, whatever you want from him. He's got the skill, he's got the flair, amazing comms that you can hear from him. He's a fucking brilliant player, always chats shit, which is hilarious. Puts the whole of EU into chaos as he leaves Oxygen and Moist within like not even a year to go to BDS. And look at Oxygen now, we've not done nearly as well without him. And look at BDS, he is the reason why they are doing so well right now. See, like, watching him, he's unbelievable. I can't believe he's gone so unnoticed. So yeah, that is why Rise is my number 4. Also, I just realised now I forgot Joyo in my honourable mentions. I should have put him on there, but I forgot while doing them. Sorry, Joyo, you're fucking brilliant. Joyo, he's, no offense to Cash and Juicy, but Juicy, I'm not gonna lie, is just shit overall. But Cash, he's incredibly inconsistent. So most of the time, just like apparently Jack right now, Joyo is having to step forward, make the chances, just try and force his teammates to go up the pitch. So that's why Joyo is supposed to be one of my honourable mentions, but I forgot him. Number 3, the Bull. Unbelievable player. This was a weird one though, because of how the recent split has gone, but you can't deny it. Complexity are insane. I nearly put CRR on this list, but I decided not to in the end because I've put Razorbull so high. He's on a different level. You watch him, he's got the ground game, bumping people, creating chances, can be up in the air. Him and CRR just linking up together. AJG sweeping up at the back, doing whatever he needs to do. Razorbull, he can do anything. He reminds me of Jan when he was good. I mean, he's still good now, but when he was doing better, that's what Razorbull reminds me of right now. But he has more compatible. No, I'd say better teammates than Jan had, because I felt like Card and Kaio, they're great players, but I just feel like Jan needs to be on one of the top teams. His roster right now is just not looking good. I mean, they've made the major. I mean, but they should have done much better all season. Like, there's no excuse for that. They should have, in my opinion, they should have made all the majors, but that's their own fault. In the end, they shouldn't have got lost in. Him and Yan are too similar, but at the moment, it's seeming like it's going to work, so I might be proven wrong. Number 2 is Vatira. Now, some people are going to hate me because I've put ZEN over Vatira, but either way, whatever I did here, I would have been abused in the comments anyway. Feel free to abuse me in the comments, by the way. I don't care. It's fun to read them. It's fun to reply back to. I like it. It's good debate down there. But ZEN is higher than Vatira for me because people say ZEN's teammates are better, but look back to what happened before when he had Sizen. A few times they couldn't even qualify for the main event in Europe, for one. I know Radosin has improved just massively since then, but still, that must be a product of ZEN coming in. But yeah, they barely made the major last time, for one. I mean, it's hard. It's still hard to say, but I just feel like Radosin's brilliant, Alpha's brilliant, of course, but I feel like people are underestimating Itachi and Exotic. Look back to Itachi and Exotic. Like, Vatira does most of his stuff, but that's because Vatira is made to be the standout player. Look what happens in the background. Exotic, Itachi, always in the right position, always passing, doing unbelievable. The amount of assists they get, the amount of goals as well. I mean, I know Vatira gets the majority of them, but they are unbelievable as well. They've been go back 6 months ago. You ask who was better, Radosin and Alpha or Exotic and Itachi. Most people would be saying Itachi and Exotic. So people saying that now are just hypocrites. And the reason why Vatira is second is because the split that I just watched from Vatira really was not that good. I mean, he's still unbelievable, but knowing K-Corp, they should have done much better. I think they came in number 3 seed in the end. Yeah, I think that's how they did. But it was a nail in the coffin for me when they lost the Hogan mode. I mean, Hogan mode are fucking great. I love Hogan mode, man. I mean, I should have just put Scrub Killer in here for number 1, but whatever. Hogan mode, what a team, man. I love them so much. But yeah, let's get off Hogan mode now and talk back to Vatira and ZEN, number 1 and number 2. Vatira is 2 because, number 1, he went missing quite a lot of the times in the series of the split. And number 2, they just didn't perform as well as Vitality. Vitality, the whole entire time, I think dropped 1 series, and that was only in the bracket reset as well. So that doesn't even matter that much, you know. It doesn't really count in my brain. Like, losing 1 series across all of them, like, that's unbelievable. And before, when barely getting top 8s at majors, barely even making a top 5 to get to the major, now having ZEN in and being number 1 in everything they've done, you can't deny it. ZEN's the best player in the world. I mean, we'll see what happens at the major. Whoever does better, honestly, I'll just place higher. But ZEN, for me, at the moment, is undoubtedly the best player in the world. And I know I'm going to get loads of people in the comments saying, where's this person? Where's this person? Shut up, man. I don't even know. I mean, I've looked through so many players and I'm just thinking, this is my best top 10 I can make. People are going to ask why first kill is so low, and go watch the recent split. He was shit. Not shit, but not good at all. But yeah, I think that is where I'm going to end it at, guys. Please like and subscribe, comment about my list. Anyone who I missed out, go and comment. I know I just complained about that, but it's fun to read them anyway. So I'll see you guys